then mix it. Now, how much lactose I need? Whatever is remaining, right? I'll subtract the weights and find the amount of the weight of the lactose, what is needed to do the prescription. I'm sorry. No, you don't. Oh, of course you have to weigh the powder again. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, you know, if you need, in this case also, you need 2.1 tablets. I just weighed 3 and crushed 3. But after crushing 3, I have to weigh powder enough to get 2.1. I cannot use all 3 tablets. No, that's wrong. Okay, I have to use 2.1 tablets, the weight what is needed for 2.1. So I'll set up a proportion and I'll do the work. I just skipped that step. Okay. Use lactose, whatever is needed, 980 or whatever you need. Lactose. Mix it geometrically. As I said, there are 2 ways of doing this. Either you can geometrically mix it right on the paper, or you can put it in a glass mortar and pestle and mix it, right? But if you put it in glass mortar and pestle, you waste another time. In other words, that's really not needed. But you can, sure. Okay, so this is done. So now I will I'll put this powder in the center, fold my paper and press it, or I'll use something called mass roller and put a little weight on it so my powder is now compacted. Okay, so it will be easy for me to scoop it out. Okay. So let's imagine I'm using size this. Okay. A capsule has 2 parts, a body and a cap, right? Is everybody familiar with the capsule? Body and a cap. I will use 2 bodies and a cap. In other words, I'll take 2 bodies, put like this, one on top of another, okay? And then I'll start scooping. And the reason for doing this is I don't want fingerprints on the capsule which I am dispensing. Okay, so I'm done. Cap it. I will not lock it, I'll just loosely cap it. And then, of course, I need all these weights off of my balance. You cannot touch weights by hand, only I can. Which side? Left or right?
Left.
So I'll put it here. What should I put it on the right hand side? Empty capsule with 2 bodies. Either, because I have 2 bodies and a cap, so I'll put 2 bodies and a cap, or I can take off the body and put just a capsule here. Then I'll just put 1 empty capsule of the same size on the right hand side. Plus, I will have 500 milligram of my weight. And then I'll move this dial between 450 and 550 because 10% error is allowed, right, to get my accurate weight. You will not get accurate 500 milligram, and don't waste your time to get exactly the 500 milligram. If it's 520, it's okay. If it's 480, it's okay. Just move on to the next capsule. It takes time to punch capsule. Right now in this prescription you have a lot of lactose, so it's much easier for you to pack the powders. Okay, but it might not be the case during the exam, so don't panic at that time. Oh, I cannot compress. Before I went to Dr. Taft's review and everything was okay. No. Okay, lactose might not be there too much in your final exam or in your compounding exam. So every time, then I disrupted the powder. So I put it back again, compress it, use a mass roller, and compact it again, and then try to scoop it again, weigh, and dispense 6 capsules. Any questions on capsules? No? And plus we'll be coming around, like while you're doing the prescription. So you already did an IV, right? So I suggest that first you do an IV, then you do capsule first, then you do ointment, and then you do suspension. So suspension. Suspension, the only important thing in the suspension is you have to weigh. For example, in this case, tetracycline, right? In your suspension is tetracycline, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I will take QS with what? This is QS with water, right? If it's QS with water or QS with cherry syrup, first step is I'll take an empty bottle, and first step is I'll calibrate my bottle with distilled water. In other words, distilled water is provided to you, right? So I'll use a graduated cylinder, right? I'll measure out 100 and then 20 because I need 120 total of the suspension. I'll put it in the bottle, right? And I'll use a marker or a pen to mark it. In other words, there is a mark for 120 here, but this mark is not accurate as this graduated cylinder. That's why I'm calibrating my bottle. Okay? So I'll put that, I'll mark it, so that's my 120. No matter what the bottle is. My 120 comes here, my 120 comes here, wherever it comes. Okay? So, I'll take whatever amount of capsules I need. Should I crush the whole capsules?
No.
No, thank God. So I'll take off the powder from the capsule, right? How much cherry syrup do I need? 60 ml. Remember, this is not QS. Okay, I just need 60 ml of cherry syrup. So I'll measure. How do you measure? You don't bring the graduate cylinder like this. You bend like this, okay, while it's at a stagnant or constant surface. Okay, so you move like this and see with your eye level if it's 60. If it's 60, good. If not, right now it's 60. I have my tetracycline in it. Use a little bit just to triturate my tetracycline. I'll mix it very quickly. Is this a suspension or a solution? Suspension. This is a suspension, not a solution.
You take more cherry syrup than we need. Like we can't pour it back in the bottle.
No, you cannot. You just dump it here. So now, in this case, as we did it in the capsule while we were breaking the tablets, we used to put the pestle right here. Here, you cannot. So you have to hold it like this. And then, best way to do it, put a beaker, take a beaker, put this here. Right? So if it drips in the beaker, and then you can take it off. So I'll mix it. The only thing is rinse and... No, no funnel. You don't need it. So I'll take all, I'll take portions like 15-20 ml portions, then mix it. Try to take all tetracycline which is in there, right? Put it in. Again, do the same thing.
Is there a term for this when you're diluting it and putting it in the container?
What do you mean?
Like how you're cleaning out the motor right now?
That's the whole point
Right.
of doing this. In other words, you have to clean out your mortar. I should not see any yellow colored tetracycline present in your mortar.
Is there a specific term for it that you should put in the
Rinse and transfer.
rinse and transfer?
Yes, rinse and transfer. That's the only term.